Welcome to the Island Radiance podcast. I'm your host, Lucy. I'm grateful to be here and I'm grateful you're here. I am super excited, guys, because today I have my first official guest and it's actually my cousin, Sasha. So I'm going to have her just give a brief introduction of herself.
Hey everybody, my name is Sasha. I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, but I grew up in Negril, Jamaica. I'm 31 and I am pursuing a bachelor's degree in education.
Yeah. And then just for a quick icebreaker question, what is one Caribbean dish that instantly makes you feel at home?
I love pork, whether it's jerk or stewed with fried breadfruit. I just feel like I'm home.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna start by asking you so we both obviously grew up together in Negril, but I would like for you to maybe describe a little bit of like the Negril culture, like economically or just socially, and how do you think that's shaped who you are today?
All right, so Negril's economic style, it's fast going. It's like upbeat. And being the fact that Negril is heavily tourist, you are always trying to introduce ways how to make money. So you always have to be creative and always thinking out the box. So for me, it has influenced me in a way where I can know that there are many options to pursue whatever it is that I'm going after. I don't have to stick in one place, so to say, to get where I need to go.
Yeah. So like she said, guys, and I think for me, like it's kind of similar. The Jamaican motto is, out of many, one people. If I had to choose like somewhere that truly describes that, it would be somewhere that there's a lot of tourists or a lot of just different nationalities, race that merge together. And I feel like Negril is the perfect spot for that. And like I'm a product, obviously. Like my mom was a tourist who came to Jamaica, met my dad, and then integrated into Negril, into the Jamaican society. And I feel like honestly growing up and seeing that we have like family in country areas that are not as exposed to different cultures and races, like I always felt like accepted, or I didn't feel like I stood out being like biracial or mixed in Negril. So I do feel like it's a perfect spot to say like, okay, it is a melting pot. And like she said, I feel like people come and visit and then they stay and they integrate into our community. So there's just a bunch of different culture, food, different things that you can, we get exposed to, and we've seen that like the difference when we go out into like visit family in a more rural area.
So much true.
If you had to describe life in the Caribbean in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
Okay. So my words would begin with hardworking. Now, for my life, for the entirety of my life, people who have been around me, family and friends, we have always been hardworking. And to be hardworking, you have to be determined. So you have to be intentional with your growth and what you want for yourself. But above all of that, God fearing, because you have to know that what you're doing, it's for a higher purpose. It's not like, oh, I want to wake up tomorrow and make $50. But what is it that truly fulfills you or propels you to want to be hardworking and determined? So those are my 3 words.
Yeah. I kind of would agree, guys. I think that like the culture, and this is probably one of the things that I love the most about our Jamaican culture is that we are like very God-fearing people. For the most part, I feel like it's just been instilled and passed down for generations that there's always a higher purpose and you can always get through anything, like, God nago forsake you, or,
Exactly.
So that is one thing I really would say about our culture. I guess another question I have for you is, what are some traditional wellness or healing practices from the island or from Jamaica that you still use today?
Well, tea. Like tea good for everything. I be like listen, you got a headache, drink some tea. You're not feeling well, drink some tea.
Bush
like
tea.
bush tea,
Yes.
like get with the program. It's definitely tea.
Yeah. It's funny, guys, because that, like, it's true. We grew up like drinking tea every day. Even as far as like me drinking coffee, I feel like I got more into that when I moved to the States. Even though like our grandpa did, like, out of all of our family members, everybody would drink like bush tea, but he would still have his one, cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, he's definitely about that. But the thing is that sometimes as Jamaicans, we don't say, okay, who drinks coffee? It's just tea right across the board. So
Yeah.
so honestly, it has been something.
And it's still something that you do today, like if you're feeling bad or having a
Yes.
headache
So
or.
if I'm feeling bad, I'm having a headache, I drink some tea, and for some reason, I magically think that I'm feeling better.
So this is a good one, and I want to kind of jump into this because I would like to know, how do you handle stress or maintain balance in your life?
Oh, I like this question, especially that I have the experience of sort of being able to identify and understand that stress is something that you channel and work through differently. But for me personally, I do it through music. Now, music is my go-to whenever I think that I'm overwhelmed, and here's why. Now, the thing about Jamaican music or dance hall music, to be intentional, it is so diverse. Now, whatever it is that you think you're going through, there is always lyrics, there is always music that mirrors whatever that is. And just to know that somebody else is going through that, it creates a level of community. Like, I'm not in this alone. And then the success story of this person that has been through it, it propels you to now know that, okay, I may be going through this, but this state is not constant. I will be okay afterwards.
I like that. I can relate. I think that because I grew up though like more la Rasta girl, guys. I think I leaned heavily into reggae. So I do love dancehall, and I get what she's saying. Like if you want to get into a upbeat mood, I see that too. I do like some of that music, but I feel like when I was feeling more of like depressed or I needed more of that motivation, I think I would turn to more like a
Tomorrow.
Sizzler or Chronics, and that's just because of how I was raised. If you had to like give like one or two of your favorite like Jamaican music artists, who would you listen to or recommend?
Okay, so for me, I do a mixture of reggae and dancehall. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm gonna talk dancehall, I really want to say Vibes Cartel. And let's not say Vibes Cartel because he is popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's not it, because I don't when you're going through stress, you really don't focus on the upbeatness of the rhythm. You
Mm-hmm.
listen to the message.
Mm-hmm.
So I would more zoom in on the songs that he would sing, for example, Thank You, Jah, Mama, those type of things that really talks about the struggles that he goes through, and to
Mm-hmm.
know that where he is now and the changes, then definitely his more conscious music would be
Yeah.
what I would listen to. Or if we're talking about reggae, I listen to a lot of Sizzla, because for
Mm-hmm.
me, his perception is for the people, by the people. So it's always so intentional where whatever it is, he spreads love and joy and respect for women, which is top tier.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, yeah. I
I
love that
really
for women, for real. Are we dating ourselves with these artists?
well,
Like,
well, like what I think with these artists is like the more we get involved with their music and their personality and what they're about, we sort of try to have a mental idea of what is accepted of you as a woman, or what you're supposed to be looking for from your man, because here I am with a blueprint then.
that okay, so guys, we could get into a whole because we're not gonna do that because we're going to date with so first of all, and we're just not gonna talk about music right now.
No.
But because I want to get back to something as far as like when you say like you turn to music, I
Mm-hmm.
think I guess something I want to talk about as far as if you, what do you think about our culture? And honestly, guys, I want to always just make this disclaimer that anybody explaining how they feel or what they think is how they grew up and how they perceived our culture. But there's some common things that I think that will come out in these conversations, because when you are feeling stressed, like your instincts is to like turn to music and listen to music. And I feel like growing up, we were kind of raised in a culture where like children were seen but not heard.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think from an early age we like learn to verbalize like, oh, I'm feeling bad, or like talk about emotions. So I think we had to turn to these vices like music, and unfortunately some people would turn to, weed or alcohol. So what do you think about that, as far as like communicating or talking to people about your problems, and keep it like from a woman's perspective, I guess.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, dealing with stress is heavily cultured because what I think is that how my parents would deal with stress, whether from me or my family or whatever it is that's stressing them, would be a reflection of how their parents would deal with stress when dealing with them. So it's like a generational thing. My mother, my grandma, my great grandma. So it's like a thing that they have never really processed. Stress, it's like bottled up, and you have to deal
Mm-hmm.
with kids, household, your whole life. So you don't really have a channel. And then again, you may not know that there is a channel because all your life you've just been keeping it
Inwards.
inwards. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like you get frustrated and you lash out because you don't know, like, what do I do with this? So it's like a generational thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that is the reason why we tend to different coping mechanism. People go out and party, people listen music, people will just whatever it is, because there is no, we don't truly confront or fears, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, let's work with them.
Mm-hmm. And like I feel like there's this whole just thing about keeping it, and like then in not really sharing your woes with people, and like, oh, I'm gonna share my business with people. Like, there's something I feel like the older I get, I'm realizing like I kind of kept some of those things, but then also I'm realizing like, why not? And I think that's the difference with our generation. Like, we've always, so when we were younger, if we couldn't go to an adult, we obviously wouldn't talk to each other.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I guess, being the age that we are and looking at that aspect of the culture, like, if you had a daughter right now, how would you want her to approach her, like, having emotions when she's younger? Or, what do you think you would do differently?
All right, so for me, because I really think that being exposed to different places, spaces, and people, it helps you to sort of draw on experience. Okay, what do I think works best? But for me, I want to create an environment where, as whatever it is, uncomfortable, whatever it is, I want my daughter to be able to say, okay, Mommy, I'm going through something and I want to talk to you. Because that should be my cue to know that, okay, it is serious. Now, there's this thing that happens with our culture in Jamaica where, as Lucy mentioned, as kids you are seen but not heard. So oftentimes adults would not respect kids. They won't think that, oh, they're not going through anything because you're just going to school and you should just pay attention to
Yeah,
academics.
you
But
don't
the
have
truth is,
bills. What could it bother you?
exactly, the truth is there's a lot of things, because you're not seeing through the eyes of the child, nor are you processing. You can only process from an adult perspective, and so much times I see where adults forget that they were kids,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't remember that, okay, I was in a position when I was a child and these things made me uncomfortable. They now go on to having kids and completely forget that they didn't have a voice, but how can I approach this differently? So I want my child to know
Mm-hmm.
that, okay, I can go to my mother, regardless of whatever it is, and speak to her so we can navigate this, because we have to break the cycle.
Yeah.
It cannot continue.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I would agree. I feel like this, like, there's a little bit of a like push through mentality, and you got this, and you don't need nobody but God. Like, you're gonna pull through, and I feel like there's some things that I can say like we took from it. I feel like we both, and I don't even know if this is good or bad. I'm just gonna be transparent, but I feel like because of how we were raised and a little bit of that type of culture, we both have always been like hyper independent, because
Mm-hmm.
it's like you're having these emotions as a kid and you have to figure it out on your own. And just in general with the culture, it's like you're kind of trained or like slowly transitioned into womanhood pretty
Mm-hmm.
early, because I remember like, okay, at a certain age, it's like nobody now wash your clothes for you anymore. So you need to learn
Mm-hmm.
how to wash. You need to learn how to, you know, cook, clean, and it's just like a gradual process that happens. So yeah, it's something that I think. I mean, I'm glad that I'm independent. I'm glad that I learned that. But in another sense, I think some of the things I'm trying to relearn now as an adult is that to process my emotion, and like if me I feel something, what am I feeling, why am I feeling it, and then talking it out.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, specifically with other women, because I feel like guys talking to my husband or men is just, that's a, we can get into a whole topic of Jamaican men and emotional awareness, but being able to talk to like another female who can relate to what you're going through, and that it kind of gives you some peace. It kind of makes you feel like you're not like alone, you know.
Yeah, so there is a community, and another thing that I want to highlight as well is that we are stuck in sort of like a survival mode. And when I say survival mode, the culture is making you think that as a woman, if I cannot do this for myself, it cannot be achieved, because we may have male companions, but they aren't going as fast as we want them to go, and
Mm-hmm.
that causes a level of frustration. And we're not groomed in a way where we can bring up our soft girl
Energy.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
So we're always in the mode of hustle, we're always in the mode of survival. So even if a man comes along and he wants to bring out that softness, we're like, ugh, we're so
And
guarded up,
yes, and you know
like
what's funny with that though? I feel like on the outside, Jamaican women would give off that softness. Like, cause I feel like we're big on like, if you're going somewhere, you better look good.
yeah.
Like, you need to comb your hair, fix up your face, fix up your clothes. So I think like outside we give that, but like she said, I've realized with that, like in past relationships and even my current relationship, getting to a point where I can like open up,
Hmm.
it feels like I can't be vulnerable, and if it does, it feels like yeah, I don't know,
It's
weak or
like
a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. Like,
it's like
mm-hmm,
being in control is
mm-hmm,
is top tier to us, because the only way we see things progressing smoothly is
mm-hmm,
being in control.
mm-hmm.
So the thought of relinquishing that level of authority to somebody else just to see if they will get it right is annoying, because you know that to yourself, what about the hook or the cook? It
It's gonna get done.
it will get done. But just trusting the time that we spend trusting the person, we could have already accomplished it in half that time. So because of that, it messes with your head, because there you are wanting to be submissive as
Mm-hmm,
a woman to the
mm-hmm.
man, but you're still there like, okay, can you hurry up? Can
Yeah.
you just get on with it? So it really messes with you as an adult. It's like, and then when you look at things and you say, oh, I didn't have to approach a situation like this. But the truth is, we continue being in that energy and we find a way to stay there. So even if we give you authority as the man to say, for example, cook, we have to take over what you're cooking.
Yeah. Or we
So
have to supervise
we
it.
have to supervise it. So
Mm-hmm.
we never really give our power away as an independent woman, and it is all about how you're grown, the how you see life around you, especially the fact that as Jamaicans, we see that some women relinquish their authority to the
Mm-hmm.
man and end up losing. We don't want to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So it culture plays a big role in your identity and
Mm-hmm.
how you live your life.
Mm-hmm. And like wellness and like feminine, like you said, that feminine energy. And
Mm-hmm.
something that you said that has really like I've been realizing lately is like I'm like 31 and I don't know if I've ever been able to fully embrace like a soft girl era in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and what does that even look like? Because I feel like for like our grandma, our aunts, like generations behind, there
Mm-hmm.
was more of a culture that like, okay, a man, it's a man's world. And then like our generation, I feel like we were kind of more groomed, as you said, to be like independent. Like we're not gonna rely on a man. Like if one comes along, they come along.
Mm-hmm.
And but at the same time, there's still that culture that's saying like give them that respect.
Yes.
But separate and apart from that, like what would you say is like soft girl energy, or what do you think is something you could do to get into a soft girl space?
All right. So for me, because everybody has their own idea of what softness looks like,
Mm-hmm.
but for me, I will always be independent in terms of making my money. But when it comes on, it's like I want a man to surprise me with flowers. I want him to open the door. I want a man that plans the date from the start to the end. Don't ask me where we're supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me to be ready at 8. Tell me that this is what you want me to wear. And we're going somewhere. So in this, I see you taking command in a direction that I like. That I can just relax, and the excitement is thrilling.
Mm-hmm.
Show up for yourself as well as a man, because I believe
That's very
that
attractive.
men, women, they want to see that their man is showing up for themselves before they can show up for me. Because the first thing you have to do, because if I see you as a person with no sense of direction, why would I look at you? Like, it's too much of a waste of time. So the fact that a man, he grooms himself, he's always pleasant and he's courteous towards people, towards you. You as a woman will not want to just relax that level of harshness about
Mm-hmm.
yourself, because what?
You feel
We
safe.
believe that we are supposed to mirror our partner,
Mm-hmm.
not mirror to a T, but just take away some level of attitude and attributes that they come with to better complement that man.
Yeah, okay. So I love this conversation because I feel like we're talking about feminine energy and that soft girlness and soft girl energy within a relationship. But I guess what I want to ask you too is like, as for yourself as a woman,
Mhm.
like, what do you think that now that you're like, do you think you deserve soft girl energy? And separate and apart from a man, like, what would you do to provide that for yourself? Like, what are some things you think you might have to let go that we've learned through our culture, or what are things you think you have to learn to be able to have it on your own, that soft girl?
Okay, so for me, there are many things for me to pour into
Mm-hmm.
myself to actually get there.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing, I have to sort of change my perspective to be a little bit more open, to first accept that things change as the time progresses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, there are things that I want to, like, for example, I want to say, okay, when I'm doing things for myself, be intentional. So if I want to go out and get my nails done or get my hair done, I don't want to feel like, okay,
Guilty.
I feel guilty for showing
Mm-hmm.
up for myself to get my hair done, to buy an expensive fragrance,
Mm-hmm.
and stop thinking that, oh, there is always something more important. I need to prioritize that. Okay, I'm going 100% for myself, yes, but I need to put 60 there and 40 there. So I need to be able to balance and not feel like I am guilty for wanting something else other than traditionally what I should want for
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Or like you said, you would want a man to buy you flowers, but and I feel like that's a little bit with the culture too, is like, oh, your man should provide and even all these nice things, but like I feel like our generation is more like if I want my nails to be done. I'm not gonna wait for my man to give me money to go do my, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like we kind of already are transitioning as a culture, like, you know, our perspective, because again, you know, we can't speak for everyone.
Yeah.
But spending money on ourselves and not feeling guilty about it, not feeling like, oh, this could have spent penny holes, or this could have, you know.
Or I could, like, because the truth is sometimes, say you're saving for that dream car. It's going to take years. But why can I not spend $100 on a really nice bag that I like? It really does not shake the numbers. Like, for no, what about doing something to show up for myself, to fill my own cup? No, while being on a long-term journey of getting something else. You can really start. So I need to internalize that, to know that, okay, if I want to buy whatever it is, I want to buy a bag, a shoe, it may be pricier, but it's not, I'm not getting up every month or every day and buying an expensive shoes. But for me, for no, I want this, so let me show up for myself in this way. And with this, it helps with your level of appreciation, because knowing that, okay, today I'm working towards a goal to have that really nice car, that really nice house. It helps you with appreciation that, okay, I have really done great. And this is another thing that I realize that we don't do as women. We achieve, but we have never celebrated ourselves.
That is
really
so true.
For how hard we work to
so
be
true.
where we are today. So it's always, okay, I got the shoes, let me go for the bag. Okay, I got the bag, let me go for the pants. It's never to say, okay, let me embrace myself, because right now, the funniest joke ever, let me share this with you. I'm entering my third year of college. And since year one, I've been saying I want to take myself out for dinner, just to show appreciation for how well I've been doing at school. Here I am entering third year, and I've never done that, because it's always about overcoming the next task. It's never really saying, I am happy you're here. You have pulled through this and we have more to go, but let's just take a minute now to just recognize the strength that you have put into you. So I think that's something that I really need to work on.
I think that's something everybody needs to work on, because as you're saying it, it's like resonating with me. I feel like I don't know, I don't even know if I want to say this is culture, but I have like literal goosebumps that she's saying this, because I feel like I'm always on to the next project. Like, I've done like great things, and like for me, and people might say, oh, that's awesome, and I'm like, yeah, so like, okay, like, but no, I have achieved great things. And you know, even just being like soft-hearted towards other people, or like, you know, being kind to other people, to stay in that mindset, and after being in such a survival mode, is a really hard thing to do. So I love what you're saying as far as like celebrate your wins, because honestly, like, okay, there's a long-term goal, but God, who knows, what we might never see that, and sometimes the long-term goals change. So in the meantime, celebrate like the short steps, the short successes that I love that. I feel like that's something I need to work on too, instead of just jumping to the next project, jumping to the next thing. And I feel like it's weird, because I almost feel like we do it because it gives us a sense of purpose. Like, if we not work towards something, what we are do?
It is, and with it as well, sometimes we need to know that celebrating yourself doesn't mean going out for dinner. Celebrating yourself, sorry, doesn't mean buying something expensive. Sometimes celebrating yourself is just being able to give back. Saying a soft, kind word to somebody that you see maybe going through something. Just saying to yourself in general that, hey, take a minute just to know that you've done it. We have won. Just before going after that big project. So sometimes sometimes it can even be self-reflection. You can say to yourself that, wow, like for me, I've stayed up multiple nights going through assignments, studying, just for that one purpose, to just be able to excel in my studies. So I want to be able to say, yeah, girl, you do it.
Yeah.
I'm glad for you. Sometimes you have to have conversations with yourself. You are
Mm-hmm.
not mad.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody has a support system that can push them to say, I just love how you're going, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody have that. You have to sometimes be that push for yourself. So sometimes just take a minute just to say, do it, you know. Oh
Mm-hmm.
God, me just do it
And be proud of
and be
yourself.
proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
So accepting yourself or being proud of yourself is just like it's something. And with everything that you're doing, you have to begin with yourself, because there's no way you can be your utmost best for anyone without being your utmost best for yourself.
Tea, guys. That's tea. I love that. And I think it's something that like it's conversations that you have to have frequently, because I feel like, as you know, we grow up and we're like, oh, push through, push through, push through. Like we need to stop and breathe and actually reflect. I love that part about reflection, because when you do reflect, you can be like, man, I have like achieved a lot. And you, most times, like, let's be real, like anything that we've set our mind to, it might not be easy. You might, but you achieve it. And if it changes for the better. Like if you really look back at like things that you wanted to work on, like,
Mm-hmm.
I remember, thinking I was going to be a teacher, which it's funny because you're going to be a teacher, but like changing my degree and like, so reflection is a big thing. And then I love, just like Vicky said, it doesn't have to be something expensive. It doesn't have to be like anything out of the way, really. Maybe if it's not eating out, you cook a nice meal at home for yourself, or
Mm-hmm.
you treat yourself and buy a bottle of wine, or some rum
Exactly.
cream, and you're just, or you take an evening of not studying, not worrying, not, and you drink a little rum cream and watch your favorite show. Or so I really love that. And I do want to ask a little bit, because I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like, let me ask you this question first, and then I guess I'll get more into it. But how do you think, what does womanhood mean to you, like as far from as a Caribbean woman?
So for me, womanhood, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
would just be, it's just how you show up for yourself as a woman entirely. Is it that I'm going to, say, for example, continue to dress raunchy, or am I going to progress into being more classy? It's all about decisions and how you progress. And remember that progression is not something that you wake up and you're instantly at. Change takes time. Give yourself grace for the first step.
Mm-hmm. Um, do you feel like our culture supports community in womanhood, as far as like, like how we were saying earlier, we kind of get like groomed into becoming a woman from a certain age, as far as like, okay, cooking, cleaning, what it means to be a woman, and what it means to be like a spouse or a partner. But like outside of that, like, do you think women like appreciate other women? Do you think that there could be like improvements, or what do you think about that with the Jamaican culture?
Right off the bat, I don't think women support women in our culture, because it's always a power struggle in the sense of competition. Like, for example, if I can wear a nice pair of shoe, but you cannot wear a nice pair of shoe, it's you automatically start thinking bad of me, or think that I did something crazy to just have a pair of shoe. Now, what it's about your perspective. You have to train your mind so you can put a better output. Now, if I see somebody with something that I like, now the logical thing for you to do is, if you like it, you work towards it. But instead, you have persons sitting down and saying all these type of rumors because they are so jealous of how that you have a shoe. And
Mm-hmm.
what people don't recognize is that priorities change. My priority may to have a nice pair of shoes, but your priority is to maybe have a house. Now, who's looking stupid at this
Yeah.
point? Because you have to, not having it now doesn't mean you cannot have it. You can have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just about discipline and determination and how you see yourself progressing. Like a car for $5,000, maybe I can buy the lotto, can buy a lotto ticket, and tomorrow I can just have a car. Now, what about somebody that's working 5 years to get that same car? Now, by the time I can just drive out and God forbid, I have an accident, I no longer have a car. But you, with the self discipline and know the work that you put in for your car, will drive more careful than I do. It's like no risk, no reward for me, because it's like I've never really understood
That mindset.
the
You know
mindset.
what's
So
funny? Because as you're saying it, I think I would agree. I do agree that to an extent, like I feel like growing up, and again, I'm always gonna keep repeating it. It might be how we were raised. Like we weren't encouraged to have a bunch of friends.
yeah,
Like we always were kind of told like friends are distractions, are them a go carry on the wrong path. So and that so we're each other's friends because we grew up
yeah,
together, you know. But there is that sense of like competition or like jealousy or bad mind with us in Jamaica. And I think it's from just some of it is really and truly from just like we are a third world country. I believe this solely like it could be the mindset of just scarcity that like boy if one person has it it's so hard to come by it. But the truth is like what is for you. So
mm-hmm.
you shouldn't like you're saying there's no what's the benefit of looking at like what another woman has when you can get that or maybe you don't even want it. It's just more of like I don't know. I don't. There's like an underlying mindset of scarcity. Like there's not enough, so you have to feel like you have to compete for the
You
best
have to
job, the
that
best
one
ever.
thing,
Yeah.
like I think as women,
Mm-hmm.
we have the mindset that only one person can be at the top. We have to understand that
Mm-hmm.
being at the top is not achieved by competition, it's achieved by collaboration.
Love
Because if
that.
your mindset is that, okay, I'm on the top, then you're going to do everything to keep everybody else underneath you. But what if being at the top and bringing up others to the top, we can always remain at the top. That means it puts less stress on you as a person
Mm-hmm.
to figure out ways how to keep them beneath you. It would flow smoother if we work together. So I'm truly of the saying, I don't do competition, I collaborate, because great minds think alike and small minds disgust people. That's how
Mm-hmm.
I see it.
That's so true. So I do think it's something that um we're slowly I feel like our generation is probably breaking a little bit of like don't have friends. And I feel like
Hmm.
we've kind of because I do have friends obviously but it was
Me
something
too.
that we were like shamed when we were younger. But I feel like we still kind of push you and it's not like oh you need 1,000 friends but like just trust that like more than likely most other women you encounter are going to be going through similar situations. And sometimes it's nice to have someone that can relate to like anything. I remember like being in like elementary school or like actually it was the beginning of high school I think when I got my first period.
Hmm.
And I was like kind of like ashamed of it and I didn't really know what to do. And like I remember
I'm just saying, it's true.
because and you don't know like you're not gonna go you don't want to go tell your friend
And you
and
don't tell
you're
your
having an issue
parents,
at you're at school
you're
like
like, hey,
yes.
where do I go? Like, I'm right here
Mm-hmm.
alone.
So I like the idea of like collaboration, or like you said, like if you get to the top, why not bring someone else to the top? Or, as older women, how can we give back? We not older, no, me just as in general.
Well, we're not old, but what we are is matured because
Yeah.
we're placed in different circumstances, as well as we're able to just bring, and the way how we're grown too helps to
Mhm.
contribute how we see life. So we may
Mhm.
not be old, but we are wise.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how can we give back? And how can we like share some of what we've had to go through with younger girls so they don't have to go through it?
All right. So for me, I want to get into volunteering because going into the field of education, I want to be able where when summer roll around, I want to be able to go out to like groups in my community or other communities just to
Mhm.
share my experience and have like a hands-on approach. That means there are persons that know that okay, you may see me dressed and groomed as a teacher, But when I am not in front of my students, I am somebody that you can approach. You don't have to feel less than a person to say, okay, I want to talk to her, but how do I approach this? I want to be that person that show you like behind the scenes, so to say, that it is not all rainbow and sparkling and whatever it is. It is a level of growth and progression that is not achieved in the same day, but over time. With the right discipline, we will get there. And to just be able to show as well that there are different ways to get there. You don't have to do the same things like
That's
other
so true.
persons do. And now, with the popularity of social media,
Oh, yes.
then once we have this saying back, we have this saying in Jamaica to say education is the key to success. But now you know that education is only one of the many keys to success. Now, success is what you define it to be.
I love that.
Now, success can be you getting that house that you wanted. Success can be getting that job that you wanted. Now it's how you or what you choose to be your success. And there are different ways of achieving this. So you can be working at the job for 5 years. And then on the 6th year, you are a supervisor. On the 8th year, you are a manager. What if being a manager is your success? You have to know that these are core skills that you have to know acquire with patience and discipline to get you there. But whatever it is that is your success, you have to be intentional and determined about what you want for yourself.
Yeah. I love that. I love that because I guess also, one thing I can say about the Jamaican culture that I truly love is that there is a strong like, and it's not even like it's not blown up like it's a big thing, but entrepreneurship is like big.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like most people you see probably have a little side hustle, and you know
Yeah.
that's like a common thing. You might be a teacher, but you still have a tutoring on the side. You might have
Exactly.
you be a taxi driver, but you're rear goat, and like there's just so I love that because success doesn't have to be becoming like a
No,
doctor, a lawyer. It could be like owning a successful hair shop. It could be.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
we are like Jamaica is so it is so rigid when it comes to tradition that the younger generation like ourselves we are trying to show because Jamaica is not a tell me something. Jamaica is a show me something type of place. So we now have, so with the, as I said, the rise of social media, you realize that they are successful content creators. You have persons that the only thing they now do is you no longer, it's just like going showcase in Jamaica in such a different way. And that creates wealth. Now you no longer have to be a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor. Even, and what I want people to take away from what I'm saying as well is that respect goes on every level. Not because you see the person cleaning the garbage, a security guard, somebody raking the road or sweeping. You have to respect people because beyond all of that, and you take your clothes off at night, we are all people. We have to respect ourselves and respect others. And it does not matter what you look like, white, brown, pink, yellow, orange. You have to respect people because sometimes it's not who you do it for will do it for you.
Yeah.
These are persons that you have never seen, never met, but the universe have a way where you give out good energy and you will attract good energy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really happy you were able to be my first guest.
I'm happy to.
I'm honestly, I'm learning. Like I wanted to talk. It's nice to be able to talk to somebody that has a similar upbringing because I feel like just knowing that we haven't talked a lot because I like to talk and be like, okay, she's saying things that resonate so much with me. It makes me really want to explore like, man, how many women are going through this and how like And it's not just I don't think it's just
It's
Jamaica.
it's
It's like
it's
even over
not.
here too, like in the US.
It's everywhere, honestly. And as I love a level of community that people can just be themselves, just to
Mm-hmm.
know that there are other persons that go through it. I am normal. There's nothing wrong with me going through this, because others go through it too. And with the
Mm-hmm.
right support system, you can overcome it. So that's one of the things that too much times we're scared of, not expressing the way how we feel, or we feel victimized for saying, I am not the same.
I'm not
But
feeling
we
well. I'm
have
not
to
doing
embrace
well.
that persons
Mm-hmm.
are different, and being different is what makes you unique.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So I'm gonna wrap this episode up
I had a
here.
good time.
Thank you. I'm really glad that you're my first guest, and maybe in the future, guys, you'll probably see her in another, especially because she's heading back home to Jamaica this week. But you'll be
Sadly.
seeing her again for sure. So
Yes, I will. And people, and wherever you see me on the road, in a taxi, wherever, and you want to approach me, ask me questions, or just need a sense of direction, I'm all ears.
I love that. Can you tell, guys, she's gonna be a great teacher? So thank you guys for watching this episode. Please stay tuned for more episodes, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, leave any questions that you might have for me or even Sasha, because she'll be here with me for a few more days. But yeah, thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.